Maybe you want to consume less and waste less food, and so you want to meal prep. Or it may be that you want to save money. And I'm definitely one of those people who takes a packed lunch to work every day. And all of my colleagues are usually like, I have no idea how you do this. Where do you find the time? And I could never do this. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Jolene from sunshinediary.com, and today I am bringing you a video about planning. That is nothing unusual for my channel, but today's video will be a little bit different because I'm going to be talking to you about meal planning, and particularly how I meal prep consistently every week. I know that this is the beginning of the year. The first few weeks have gone by. Hopefully we're all on track with our goals for the new year, and you may have set a goal to lose weight this year. If you're from where I'm from, maybe you want to fit into your carnival costume, or maybe it is that you just want to get healthy and eat a bit better. Maybe you want to consume less and waste less food, and so you want to meal prep. Or it may be that you want to save money. Meal prepping is good for all of those things, but it's definitely something that can be challenging, particularly if you're really busy, if you work full time, if you have children or something like that, and if you're not used to it. And I'm definitely one of those people who takes a packed lunch to work every day. And all of my colleagues are usually like, I have no idea how you do this. How do you manage? Where do you find the time? And what I hear the most is, I could never do this. I can't do it, you know? And that's not true. Of course you can do it. It doesn't take as much time as you think it does, especially if you plan well. So I figured I would come on here and sort of give you guys my biggest tips and tricks about how I manage to meal prep consistently. Now, a disclaimer before I go any further: if you are looking for recipe videos, if you are looking for a chef to teach you how to cook, this is not the video for you. I'm very sorry. If you want to learn the system and how to make it manageable, how to schedule it into your day, that's kind of more where I'm going with this video. So if that's what you're here for, keep watching. Hopefully these tips will be helpful to you. So without further ado, I'm going to roll right into my first tip. It might sound kind of obvious, but it is my biggest tip, and that is that this has to become a routine. Yeah, of course, it has to become a routine. You're telling yourself, well, that's the whole point. That's what I'm trying to get into, and that's what's hard. But a routine is just something that you do repeatedly so often that you barely have to think about it anymore. So I break down my meal prep into several different steps, and each step is a part of my weekly routine. One of the first steps is that I will grocery shop. I go grocery shopping every Friday. It kind of starts before the grocery though, because throughout the week I keep a running list of all of the groceries that I need to buy, and I keep that on my refrigerator. And on Friday I will go and I will purchase everything on the list. Okay, so we're in my kitchen, and the very first thing that I have to do is consult my grocery list. So I always have a grocery list. I keep it on the fridge, and I just update that during the week as the week goes on. So it's not like something that I have to scramble to do when I go to do my groceries. And today is Friday. That means it's grocery day. And today I do intend to go to a few different places and pick up all of my groceries, so I have all of the ingredients and no excuse not to cook. That's really important, because you need to have the ingredients on hand based on what you've run out of, what you still have in stock and all of that, in order to be able to cook. You don't want to have any excuses not to prepare these meals when the time comes. Another thing that I also routinely do on a Friday is that I will prep ingredients beforehand. So if I need to chop up some vegetables, if I need to season some meat, if I need to do anything beforehand to make my meal prep easier at the weekend, usually I will try to get that done on a Friday. That bit doesn't always get done on a Friday. It might get done on a Saturday, but I try to do that in advance, so it's not part of the cooking process, and cooking goes a lot faster. So here I have some pumpkin that's chopped up that I can put in the freezer until I'm ready to cook it. I have some chicken that I have seasoned, and the very last thing that I want to do is I just want to soak some chickpeas. I buy it like this and I soak it usually overnight until it's ready to be prepared. So that is one of the things that I will do in advance. And doing this just makes it that much easier for me to quickly prepare my meals when I'm ready to do that. So that's already done, and it's going to be much easier when I am ready to get cooking. It needs to be a part of your routine. You need to set aside a day or days and times when you will do the different steps, when you will go to the grocery and get your ingredients, when you will prep your ingredients in advance of cooking, and a day or days when you will actually do the cooking. And I really recommend breaking it down that way because it becomes more manageable if you have it in these sort of bite-sized chunks, no pun intended. Definitely try and break it down into different parts. Definitely try and make a routine of these different parts. Definitely prep your ingredients in advance. And I would recommend that you keep a running grocery list. My next big tip is that you consider only prepping lunches. I feel like people think that to meal prep, you need to have maybe 5 or 6 days worth of lunch and dinner all prepared and in your freezer. I, first of all, don't even have the freezer space for that. But also I don't do that because typically I'm at home at dinner time. What I need is to carry lunch with me when I go to work. So I prep lunches. That's what I do. My meal prep is only lunch. At dinner time, I typically have something smaller, something lighter. I know that a lot of people have dinner as their biggest meal of the day, but I would, in any event, try to make sure that dinner is something that's quick and easy to prepare. So it might be a salad. In my case, it's usually a salad with some sort of seafood. I throw that together really quickly and that will be my dinner, and I will prep that when I'm at home. So my meal prep is not lunch and dinner. That may seem like a bit of a cheat, but if you think about it, that's really what you need. Even if you come home super tired, you can throw together a salad or something, or some pasta or something like that in under 20 minutes usually. A related tip that I can give you is that you should probably have in mind all of the dishes that you can prepare in under 20 minutes. It's actually more than you think it is. Anything that's a fruit or vegetable that can be eaten raw takes little to no preparation. Pasta takes about 5 to 10 minutes to prepare. Rice, similar kind of time. It doesn't take super long to prepare. Seafood, fish, salmon, that kind of thing, you know, it doesn't take a lot of time to cook, maybe 5 minutes tops, and that's prepared. So you should keep a running list of things that you can throw together really quickly so that, number one, your dinners don't need to be included in your meal prep, but also so that on meal prep day, you're not actually cooking some kind of crazy, complicated meal that's going to take you 10 years. It doesn't take long if what you're cooking doesn't take long to cook. So that's really important. You should identify some things that you enjoy eating that can be prepared really quickly. And I'll give you a short list, but I'm sure you can add to this list yourself. Another tip that I have is that whenever you cook, because maybe you are just sort of easing your way into this, but whenever you cook, do not cook enough for one meal. Never do that, even if you live alone. Don't cook enough for one meal. Cook enough for 3 and freeze the rest. And do that whenever you cook. Because apart from having your scheduled meal prep day and your scheduled grocery shopping day and all of that, what really counts is that you have something in the freezer and that you don't just eat everything because you've prepared it, you know? So I would say that if you're trying to ease your way into it, definitely try to just cook as you ordinarily would, but make extra and freeze it. I actually only have 1 or 2 meal prep days in a week, and I don't actually feel like I'm meal prepping because those days are typically Saturday and Sunday. And what happens? On Saturday, I'll make a meal for myself, and I'll probably eat some of it on Saturday, but I'll make a really big meal, and a lot of it just goes in the freezer. And then Sunday, rather than go and eat what's already in the freezer, I'll just cook again, and I'll make a really big meal, and I'll put the rest of it in the freezer. And so it doesn't even feel like, I don't see it as something that's outside of the norm because I would cook on those days anyway. I just make a whole lot more than I actually need, and then I put it away. One thing that a lot of people tell me, apart from, oh my gosh, I could never do it, I don't have the time, is, isn't it boring? Because if you're only doing it once or twice a week, you'll have to eat the same thing every day for the entire week. And to that I say, absolutely not. All you have to do is cook maybe one meal. Let's say you're only doing one meal. Make one meal with several different parts. Make it a meal that consists of rice and steamed vegetables and beans and chicken and a few different things. So on one day you can have steamed vegetables and chicken, and another day you can have rice and beans and steamed vegetables, and you can mix it up. Basically, I tend to try and prepare multi-part meals. I like a good curry, and it's a great way to have a lot of different ingredients or a lot of different dishes in one meal that you can sort of mix and match. I make sure and I box everything up separately so that I can, on every given day of the week, include what I want and exclude what I'm not feeling in the mood for, and that sort of helps me vary it. So really, I'll cook on 2 days, and then I'll mix and match the different dishes in the meals so that I'm not eating exactly the same thing every day for a week. My very last tip, which is kind of like a bonus tip because I don't actually do this anymore, although I used to a little bit in the past, is to try using a slow cooker or a crock pot, because that's a great way to sort of just throw all of the ingredients in there and then not really have to monitor it very much. So it cuts down on the meal prep time because all you have to do is prep the ingredients, which is kind of what I do on a Friday or a Saturday morning, where I'll just season everything, you know, cut up my vegetables maybe. So you can literally find some slow cooker meals, find a slow cooker cookbook or something like that, get the ingredients you need, toss them all together, and then go about your business. Go out, you know, go shopping, rest, sleep, read, watch Netflix, whatever you want to do, and not have to monitor it. And that can really make meal prep feel a lot less time consuming and stressful and annoying. I don't really do that anymore because I find that it really takes no time. Like once I've chopped everything up, tossed it in a pot or put it in the oven, it amounts to kind of the same thing for me. So I don't feel like I need it, but I know that a lot of people swear by a slow cooker or a crock pot for their meal prep. So I would recommend that you try that if you haven't already. So that's basically it. These were my tips on how I manage to consistently meal prep. This is how I do it. I know it seems super simple, but for me, it feels simple. You know, it's really not stressful or super time consuming. So I really hope it helps. If it did help, please give this video a thumbs up. It would really mean a lot to me. And if you enjoy my content, please do consider subscribing. I'm never going to be one of those people who spams you with a video every 3 hours. That's not going to be me. I have way too much on my plate, but I will try and come on here with interesting and useful content every once in a while. So it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. In any event, thank you for having watched this video. Thank you for making it to the end. I really appreciate your time, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.